It's to my reporter, we are privileged to be in conversation with Representative Hufu of Montserrado County, District Number 12, and President of Honorable Jerry Yogboh. A pleasant good afternoon and welcome to this interview.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and welcome to our office.
Today is voter registration day. What is your impression?
First of all, who is Mr. Yogboh for the benefit of the viewers?
Thank you. Again, I'm Jerry K. Yogboh Senior, and I hail from FOL County, resident of District 12. I live and grew up in District 12 throughout my life, and I'm in one of the aspirant for the next election, which is going to be taking place October 10th. And I'm married, 4 children. I hold an associate in computer science, BA in accounting, 2 masters in information science and system management. I own and operate the Yogboh Group Company, Liberia, and the Jerry K. Yogboh Foundation in Liberia.
Great. So, this process that you want to be a part comes October. What qualifies a Liberian citizen to be a part has started. That is the voter registration. It has started in few counties of Liberia. Montserrado is one of those counties. Tell us, what are your own reading of the process since this morning?
Yeah, you see, under voter registration should be open to all Liberians. Anyone that certify the citizenship of being a Liberian, you should be allowed to register and count October 10th to vote. And looking at the ongoing registration process that started this morning, we think the NEC did not do a good job. The voter civic education was very poor because they introduced a new system whereby you can go online, create a barcode that will have your information, your demographics to be embedded to make you have a less time to vote or to register, which is good. But the masses, the citizens were not educated. So now confusion all coming across voter centers in my district. Okay. People are going to do registration, they have to stand in long queue. And those that have the barcode that were produced by our incumbent, because he flooded our district with voters from different districts, and overnight he was able to aid them in getting the barcode that they are using to make the registration process easier. And because the educations were not done properly, even the registrars, the clerks are not verifying, because when they scan the barcode, the demographic comes up.
How did he flood that issue with voters?
Because we have been told and have been able to identify places in our district that we are bringing strangers. Okay. And he's good for that because even in the last election he did it. And I challenge him to disprove that. Even this morning, we had to notify the Zone 4 police station. We had a lot of strange people that were standing around 4, 5 o'clock around voting centers. To get into the poll to register, and we did notify our nearby police station with those complaints.
So with that, what do you envision? What do you see ahead of us as we embark on these processes? What do you envision?
To be very honest with you, we think if we don't be careful, this process is going to be flooded with a lot of errors. Okay. And NDC have told us that they have no control over trucking, movement of voters, which I don't blame them, because there is no system to identify where Jerry Yogboh live or where you live, because there's no address system. So it's very, very difficult for NEC to even put such a measure in place. So NEC have told us that they don't have control on that, and it levels the citizen to report strange faces to the police. And also, again, I don't think the police even have law or measure to curtail that. So the whole system, just sorry to say, it's a mess, and we think there'll be a lot of errors.
All right. One of the things, some of your colleagues, that is Aspirant and even current representatives, have complained about is the shifting of voting center or precinct. For example, you have precinct at this particular locality with a precinct code 13456, for example. That precinct been taken from here and shifted to another part of the district or in another district. For example, district number 11, for example, a precinct from 12 to number 11. Have you experienced anything of such within your district?
Actually, our district had a movement of centers, but those were centers that existed.
Okay.
They were just relocated in different communities, so we haven't really been affected.
Don't you think it has effect on the voters? Don't you think so?
Yes, every time you move or change location, obviously there's an aftermath effect. Okay, but
do you think it was appropriate at this time?
Again, I would say I don't want to say yes, and I don't want to say no, but again, a level 9 based on the detailed information they have that make them to make the decision to move, to relocate. They have their own argument, but I could advise them to just let centers remain and even do the redistricting based on the population census that were done before registration is take place. But if redistricting will not be done before voter registration, you're going to be denying people the right to vote where they did the registration. Because after registration and you redistrict, you're going to force someone to go into a district to vote for a candidate they have no understanding or no idea, or they don't know that individual. So it's my appeal in this media to just let the election commission to understand that redistricting after voter registration is going to cause a lot of dissatisfaction to the people of Liberia.
Even disenfranchise you
Yes.
as an
So,
established.
yes, exactly. So who knows, when you redistrict, I may find myself in another district which I haven't even lived or work or even know the people.
So that call should be going to the legislature because
Yes.
they have that constitutional authority.
Yes.
Okay, great. As we transition, my colleague will come in. Yes. The next question I want to ask you before my colleague comes in is why Mr. Yogboh wants to be represented? Why are you running? What qualifies you?
Because Mr. Yogboh is a Liberian.
Okay.
Because Mr. Yogboh born and grew up in District 12, Ghanaville. Because Mr. Yogboh own access. He's not just resident, but he's domiciled. So I need both. Even though domicile is what qualify you, but I am a resident and not just domiciled individual in District 12. So I think I have all rights. But the major thing that is Mr. Yogboh have the passion, the desire, the motivation, the willingness to serve his people.
What has in the current lawmaker, the person who you want to seat? What is it that he has not done correctly that you think you can do correctly?
One thing I think our current representative have allowed him, what happened to him is that our legislature allow his friends to dictate how he ought to represent us. And what I mean by that is, you see, Capitol Hill, there's a lot of friends, a lot of things happen there. People tell me, there's something about that how when you get it, it's going to change. And I tell them, I will make my friends and I will allow my friendship to drive what I want to do based on the kind of friends I make. I am not going to allow my friends to make me. And Sema allowed those guys up there to make who he is now. By doing so, he neglected us. He did not fully represent us, or he haven't been fully representing us. And he doesn't even know or understand our needs in the district. So he's a runaway representative. And we need someone that is station never represented, not runaway representative.
Okay, and they issued about, I want to draw you back to the issue of people choking people from one place to another.
Yeah.
The NET or part of one of the press conference, they used the case of Grand Caymon and Babalu back in 2020 as a case study where citizens protected, stop people from coming from Sierra Leone, Guinea to register.
Yeah.
They call on other citizens to use racial or other things to do when somebody is not identified enough from the community. You can. Why can't you come together and protect the district?
Yeah, that's a good question. We, the citizens of District 12, that's exactly what we are doing, but we are not going to do it in violent ways. And that's what we started this morning when we noticed the first attempt. We invited the police, and the commander have assured us that they will do what they can. We should keep reporting. Today, just the first day, so there are a lot of confusion going on. But we in District 12 were not 100% able to eradicate or stop, but we will try by all means to mitigate the trucking in our district. And that's what we have decided to do, and that's what we're going to do.
All right, so finally, as we close up, Mr. Yogboh, election in Liberia are expensive. Whether community elections, if it classroom elections, have you counted the cost that it takes to become representative in Liberia? I mean, you began a humanitarian, you began the director, the father for all the district residents to send their kids to school. Those are problems your colleagues been confronted with. Have you taken all of those into consideration?
Yes, I did. And gentlemen, to be frank, elections, Liberia and around the world, it's not a cheap venture to undertake. But it become more expensive in Liberia because of our poverty lifestyle we have. Our people, there's no job, no employment, and the way our leaders, previous leaders that came before us, have served or represented the people. Because upon election, the people are forgotten. So the people have contributed to the cost of election by putting in full a lot of demands before you get there. So I will give you a common example. If I tell you figure what I put into this process, you will become wow. But because the way my previous lawmakers, their behavior have caused me what it's costing me. And because of that, it's very costly to run election in Liberia as I speak to you. And to even be where we are today, we have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars just to be where we are today, to even for people to get to know us. And even with that, we still continue spending every day. So it's very expensive, and we understand that to run into election in Liberia is not something cheap. And Mr. Yogboh understands that very well.
All right, thank you, even nice interacting with you. So, folks, this is Focus on Liberia Television, live here from District Number 12, Montserrado County. Today in Liberia, the voter registration exercises begins, and we've come to speak with one of the aspirant in the incoming elections. The upcoming election rather, that will be in October this year. He's been speaking to us on his perspective on how the process looks like. He accused the current district lawmaker of flooding the district with people who are not residents of the district. As we continue on this endeavor, thanks for speaking with us, and we will be here another time to speak with you on this issue. Thanks so much for following us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.